So, good afternoon. We are back again, Sunday podcast. I'd like to apologise to Matisse as well, by the way, because I was fully supposed to be on his podcast and I totally forgot what day it was, where I am, what I'm doing. It's been a mad week, but listen, it is the biggest day in English football since 1966, and it's going to be mad. It's going to be torture watching that game tonight up against the Italians, who are unbeaten in 33 games. But yeah, it's a good night for English football. What are you saying, Dan? I hope you're good, mate.
I'm all good, man. Pleasure to be back on with you boys. Always like talking to you and Kenny. But I woke up nervous, man. Butterflies in the belly because I am more club over country. If I'm honest with you, I'm a massive Arsenal fan, as everyone knows. But I do love England and I'm patriotic, so I'm nervous, mate. And I'm hoping that it's coming home tonight. But it's a pleasure to be with you boys.
No, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. It's always nice having you on as well, Dan. You always speak sense, especially on Arsenal.
Cheers,
anyway.
Mate. Cheers, mate.
Kenny's all patriotic with his 2006 England shirt on that still fully fits. That's how trim and lean Kenny is. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good. I'm all good. You know what? I echo what Dan says. It's like, you have to pinch yourself doing English actually in a final. It's unbelievable. It's like normally when these occasion comes on, you're just basically hoping that that you're still in a sweepstake and your sweepstake team comes out and you get some money out of it. But this is like something different, really different. Like I've never seen a country like this, because obviously none of us were around in '66, but this is off the scale. The excitement. No one's. I think when people say it's coming home, I think there's still, some people just, they're ready to be let down. You know what I mean? Because it's England and what's happened and everything. But it's really, really nice to be part of this. I mean, just to experience this day, I'm never going to forget this. And I think the day itself and the preparation is probably going to be more exciting than the match. But obviously, we want the match to go our way and England bring a trophy home.
100%, mate. After the way the world's gone in the last 18 months, like all of us have suffered at some point. It's just been absolutely mad, really. And for this country to get to its first final in 55 years, the buzz is just madness. Like literally, I'm in Northampton at the minute. The amount of houses I've seen decked out with flags, and you just know the barbecues are going to be flying around tonight, and the juice is going to be everywhere. The pubs are going to be rammed, which is going to be great. The stadium's going to be rammed. Afsal's going. Big up to Afsal. And my youngest brother's got a ticket as well. I've seen people selling, I said this earlier on a stream yesterday, I've seen people selling tickets for like $4,000 a pop. Like, it's ridiculous. My brother got his off the UEFA website, and he paid €79 plus VAT. Like, I don't know how people are charging $4,000 for a ticket. I genuinely don't understand why people are paying that. Like, I know it's a once in a lifetime opportunity and all that, but is it $4,000? Like, come on. Like, people are cashing in on this, and I think it's bang out of order, if I'm honest, because they're playing on people's emotions. But
hey, Lee, sorry to cut in as well.
On,
you need to mention the amount of celebrities as well who've been getting tickets to these games when normal fans. First I feel sorry for normal fans. First, we've missed out on big games because they wanted to give NHS workers tickets. So some of us have missed out and cut. Some people would have missed out and cut final tickets to watch their local club because we had to go and clap for the NHS. Now celebrities are getting a game, so I find that outrageous.
Yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it? And like the thing is, like, this is what happens when it's big events. It always ends up being like this, doesn't it? It's like people try and cash in on it. And listen, good luck to them if they're making money. But I see one ticket on Instagram going for €6,000. I mean, come on. I think it's a €695 ticket, and it's going for nearly 10 times that. I'm surprised people have got that kind of money to spend on a football ticket after the way the last 18 months has gone, if I'm honest. It's just crazy. And the thing is, you're right, it does take it away from proper fans. Like, luckily for my youngest brother, he travels all over the world watching England. So every time he goes, he gets a cap. Yeah, and that's like the away scheme at Arsenal. You get a point and all of that. So he's built up a lot. So he's lucky that he didn't have to go and pay over the odds because he got one via the right sources. But it is mad. And I just want to talk about the fans quickly as well, because that game against Denmark, the atmosphere was insane. And again, my brother was at that game. When he came back the following day, I was like, what was it like? And he was showing me some videos and all of that. And it was just the loudest I've ever heard a football stadium. It was mad. What do you think, Dan? Like, because obviously we've only conceded one goal, and that was a free kick that Pickford probably should have done better with, but it was a great free kick at the same time. Yeah, I know it wasn't top corner, but he still hit it sweet. Like, and we have only conceded one goal, but we're up against an Italian team that they know how to arrive in these big finals. They know exactly what it takes to. All of them in their team pretty much have won a title. You know, you've got Chiellini at the back. I mean, the geezer's been going on forever, and it's going to be funny. I said this the other day as well. Harry Kane, if he scores the winner after the history of Tottenham, I mean, Chiellini's going to be in bits, isn't he? But what do you make of? Well, how do you see it going? Because it's going to be tense, of course, and he's got his team selections pretty much bang on and his subs bang on all the way through this, which I've been baffled by because I don't rate him. Yeah, but I've got to put my hands up and say, do you know what? You've played it perfect. Do you think that's going to be the case tonight, or do you think it's all going to end up in tears for us, mate?
Well, first of all, this has been the best Euro Championships I can remember. Not for the fact that England have got to the final, but for the fact that I think it's been even more emotional. One, because it's been at home majority, and we've got fans back in the ground. And I don't think people appreciate how much other fans have missed that. So I think it's been great for that. I've seen some great football. I've seen some great teams. This is going to be hands down the hardest game that we played this tournament. Now, Germany was not the Germany that we used to play. That was a side that we beat very, very well, but it was not a side that dominated play, that looked to be all over us, and we luckily nicked it. It was not what I was expecting. Denmark was tough. They're a very well organised side, but they were playing as a team. They're not an outstanding team. Ukraine were poor. Yeah, we were good, but they were poor. And our group stages were just basically getting over the line. So we're now going to get into a stage where this team are organised. They haven't lost since November 2018. They're unbeaten under Mancini, and they're well organised. And you've got Chiellini and Bonucci, who I think I was buying on Champ Manager back in 2002. So that's how organised they are, right? So they are the masters of defending. They've also got a wicked midfield. I think Verratti's class. Jorginho, we all know what he does. They've got great strength in depth. Locatelli, a player that Arsenal were linked with. And up top, they've got the business with the likes of Insigne, Immobile, and I absolutely love Chiesa. I think he's a top draw player. So I'm looking at that team thinking, wow. But I also look at what Gareth Southgate's done, and he's just another manager that's better than Mikel Arteta. I mean, they're getting longer and longer, aren't they? But in all seriousness, I wasn't a fan of him at all. And this tournament, he's got it spot on. Every single team selection and tactic has been justified. He has basically been spot on. I was crying out for Jack Grealish. He's bringing him on and we're winning games. Fair play, it's working. People were crying out for Jadon Sancho. He's proved why he's not the right man, because he came on and he did okay, but Saka was a lot more tougher, harder work rate, and if I'm honest with you, more of an all-round player. So he stuck with Saka. Harry Kane, poor tournament until the last couple of games, which is why he started to change things with some of the system, with the three at the back, the four at the back, Saka and Sterling now going ahead of him, Kane dropping deeper. I have to admit it, I can't stand the bloke, but I thought he was outstanding against Denmark, Harry Kane. Absolutely outstanding. Those fouls that he does, you just think, wow, what a horrible player you are, but it's great when you're in my side. And I do look at that situation and think that we do have to big up a certain few players. Kenny will like me saying this because I did a podcast with him a while back with me and Manny and him was having a debate about Harry Maguire. I think he's been epic since he's come in. I think he's been immense, Ken. He's come in and I think he's done the job. He's been solid. Him and Stones have formed a partnership. I love the Rice and Phillips partnership. I love Mount with the legs in the number 10. I think Kyle Walker has got unbelievable pace that if he does make a mistake, he can get back in time. Luke Shaw has been on fire. His delivery has been fantastic. And I said this with Lee Judges earlier. This has been the one team, Lee, one English team that I see is together, fully coached and look coached and organised and have an understanding of what it means to wear that shirt. And I haven't seen that since Euro 96, mate. So, of course, I'm excited tonight. It's going to be tough, but I'm staying optimistic, mate, and I think it's coming home.
Go on, Dan. Go on. I agree with you on Harry Kane as well. Like, I actually really rate Harry Kane. I think he's world class. I genuinely do.
He is class.
Yeah, and like people always have a debate with me. I think him, Benzema, and Lewandowski are the three best strikers by a flipping million miles in the world at the minute. Yeah, they always score goals. They always turn up when most needed, whether it's for club or country. And Harry Kane, you're right, he's a horrible player. Like, he knows when to draw a foul and he fully milks it as well. But he's just such an intelligent footballer. And the fact that he's on our team tonight gives us a chance for me. And the fact that we've got Raheem Sterling, who's, I'd say he's probably been our most important player because he's scored the goals at the important times. I don't think he's been our best player. I'd probably go with Luke Shaw or maybe even Harry Maguire. I think he's been quality, Harry Maguire. And I can't stand him. I don't rate him that highly. But in this tournament, I think he's been unbelievable, mate. But in terms of Sterling, I think he's been our most important, and he can score a goal, which he's done multiple times. And again, that would be a threat going forward for us. We've got Bukayo Saka, who I think will probably start. He's been fantastic. And then you've got the threat of Grealish coming off the bench. And I mean, we see that in the game the other night against Denmark, Kenny. He came on and then came off again. And we were all like, what are you doing? But it worked. We hung on in the end and we got through. But where do you see it won and lost, Kenny?
I think where it is, it's going to be definitely going to be midfield, whether we like it or not. Because what's happening right now is that we've managed to get by in games because what we've done is that we've managed to sort of rely on our pace, especially going forward, in terms of Saka and Sterling, with his sharpness, and Harry Kane holding the ball up very well, but coming out. We've managed to be able to do that, and we haven't exactly dominated possession. We tended to dominate possession from our centre halves, and getting it down the wings with down the flanks with Walker and Shaw. But today we've got a different kind of team because what's happened right now is that this is a team that dominates possession in terms of Jorginho. He's going to keep it ticking over. Verratti is going to win the ball and he can spot a pass. But obviously the emphasis is going to be on Jorginho. And obviously you've got players like, Verratti is not Verratti. You've got players like Locatelli as well. Again, someone who's got the work rate, but they can control possession. Another player we've got to watch out for as well is Berardi as well, especially down that right hand side. He's left-footed, but he cuts in. So those are going to be areas where they're going to try and test England, because it's all going to be about protecting the back four, protecting Bonucci and Shanini. And Italy's best bet at winning the game is actually to be on the front foot, to actually control possession through Jorginho, and you can get players like Insigne on the ball. Everyone's in Italy of slagging off Immobile, but what Immobile does is he stretches defences. People talk about the Italian defenders not having pace, but in terms of like Stones and Maguire, they haven't got much pace either, especially Maguire. So what they're going to do is Immobile is going to work on Maguire and try and stretch teams, and enable to bring in Berardi in the game, bring in Insigne, and these are the areas where Italy are going to try and hurt us. England, in turn, what they need to do is that it's going to be a situation where Mason Mount's got to be very, very important. He's got to be that player, the conductor, who's going to pass the ball accurately. Yes, we're going to rely on his work rate, but we don't want situations where we're relying on Phillips and Rice to do that, because that's not what they're there for. They're there for the work rate. They are going to get up and they are going to spot a pass, but it's Mason Mount who's got to conduct the orchestra, and that's where Sterling, it's got either side, right or left. Sterling's going to be very important. Saka, we know Saka won't last us 60 minutes, so he's got to give us something for 60 minutes, and then he's got a choice. Does he bring on Rashford, because Rashford's got extreme pace, or does he bring Grealish to open the door? Foden, I hear, and he may not be able to get in a game because of the situation, because I think he's got a knock, so he's very doubtful. So again, it's Sancho. He's got people who can come off the bench and do something. If Kane gets injured, maybe it could be a time for Calvin-Lewin. But midfield is definitely going to be key. Mason Mount has to get on the ball, because if Mason Mount doesn't get on the ball enough, then what will happen is we'll be on the back foot, because Italy have proved that they can sustain this kind of pace over 120 minutes. Of course, England got the players coming to the bench, but this is the best team in the tournament we're playing. And if you look outside the British England, because obviously you've got Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and obviously the Republic, everyone's has got Italy as favourites because of what they've done in this tournament, and because it's Italy.
Yeah,
Lee,
no, it's true.
Lee, can I just come in quick?
Oh, mate.
Sorry, mate. I've just had a message from someone fairly reliable who I know he doesn't tend to get much wrong when it comes to England. And apparently he's seen the lineup today and it's a little bit of a shock, but there's gone for a three at the back, apparently. So he's
Okay.
going
Oh,
for
what?
Walker, Maguire, and Stones with Trippier and Shaw, obviously Pickford in goal, Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, and a front three of Mount and Sterling either side of Kane. So no Saka, no Grealish.
Oh, okay. That
Not
changes
saying
things
it's
a
right.
little bit.
Don't quote me by it, but he's pretty reliable. He wouldn't normally whack it on there.
I know.
On the
There's a
group.
talk about from Gary Neville about like Saka, running his race and that in terms of being knackered. But again, that is a plausible. I won't rule that out.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Chig, I hope you're good, man. Happy Sunday. Happy it's coming home day.
Happy coming home day. Yeah. Let's see what happens.
How are you feeling over it, man? Now Dan's just broken a bit of news that is very reliable sources given him. What do you make of that? I'm not surprised, if I'm honest, because
I heard Saka wasn't starting today myself, so that it's not that team news wouldn't entirely be surprising, because I have heard that pretty much from most of this morning that Saka's not going to be starting in the game, which I know worries a lot of people. And it worries me to a degree, but maybe Saka is an impact player if he can get himself at least that fit. Might equally have a good positive impact on the team. So I wouldn't say all is lost here, because I know Saka's been one of our better performers, I should say. But I would say let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Three at the back, I think, was always inevitable. I could have told you that Southgate would switch to a 3 against Italy. I agree with the most part of what Kenny Kane says. I do think that Italy will dominate the ball, but I also think we shouldn't necessarily encourage that too much. I think what we saw against Spain was that as soon as Spain dominated a lot of the ball against them, and actually think they tired out for some of that game. And they were left holding on towards the end, in my personal opinion. So I think using our youthful energy, it might pay off. That might be our best shot at this thing. Just really be a counter-attacking side that tries to make them pay for any little opportunities that we have. These lot are Italy at the end of the day. They're not Brazil. They shouldn't be someone to be respected, yes, feared, no. I don't think they're that type of team. I do think they're the best side in the tournament, but I actually think England have as well. This is the unusual situation that we're in, because we never say that about ourselves. But actually, I do think England have been the one of the best sides in the tournament as well. And I think for them, it's about showing up, being defensively responsible, like they have all tournament. Listen, a Denmark wonder goal shouldn't detract from the fact that defensively they've been sound all tournament. All right, and then that dodgy Scotland game. But other than that, they've been defensively sound all tournament. They need to make sure that they step into that, being confident, taking advantage of any chances that they get, and maybe switching up the shape to a 3 at the back with a Trippier inside it, providing a different sort of danger, a different type of dynamic that maybe Italy have not seen in a while. Might be a positive. Bear in mind, England's record against Italy is not terrible, especially recent history. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the 2 best teams have arrived in the final. The 2 most consistent teams, anyway. We've conceded 1 goal, and they ain't lost a game for 3 years. It's just ridiculous. It's 33 games, I think it is. And the thing with the Italians is that I think we've got a better squad than them. Yeah, I genuinely do. But they've got the experience, and they've got a better manager. Yeah, tactically. But having said that, it's not about that. It's about who does it on the night. It's a final. Anything can happen. And I really, really hope, if that is the team, that Mason Mount puts a shift in on that right-hand side, because it's gonna, I don't want him on the right-hand side. I know he's played there for Chelsea a few times, but he does his best work in the middle of the park. But they're going to be quite happy, Italy, not to go stupidly gung-ho. They'll quite happily go 0-0 and all the way to penalties. Yeah, because that's what they do. Even if they go 1-0 down against us, they won't panic. Yeah, and the Germans do the same. Germany and Italy have had that trait for years that if they go behind, they don't panic. Whereas we've gone behind and in one game all tournament, the goal we conceded, and instantly we replied, which I wanted to see, and we did it. So that shows me there's something about this squad and something about this manager at the moment that's got everyone rocking. And it's going to be interesting because I agree with you, Kenny. I think it'll be the midfield, and they've got quality in their midfield. Are our midfielders going to be able to cope with that midfield? Do you know what I mean? That's the problem. You know, Phillips has been quality in this tournament. Declan Rice, I don't think has been as good as Phillips, but I still think he's been all right. And then it's how we use our subs, because the subs could play a massive part, especially if it goes extra time. But I don't want it to go penalties, because if it does, we see the other night Harry Kane, who's normally flawless on penalties, missed it and then tapped it in. No doubt he will balloon it out the stadium and down Wembley Way if it goes penalties. Do you know what I mean? Judges will be loving life.
Yeah, we celebrate him when it goes over.
Sorry, judges, but no, I am looking forward to it, man, and I do think that it's gonna be emotional, man. Like, we're all gonna be emotionally drained by the end of that football match, and you know, us being Arsenal fans, we've had a lot of emotional drainage over the years. Do you know what I mean? It's like tonight, I just want to be able to sit and watch a game and enjoy a good game of football, and the right team wins, and that's us. But honestly, it's just going to be mad. It's going to be mad, and the stadium's going to be lit. And I think that's an advantage. What do you think to that, Dan? Because obviously we're at Wembley, and the last time we won a final was at Wembley. The last time we won a knockout game in any competition by 4 goals or more was that final, and we beat Ukraine 4. Yeah, so it's like all the omens are stacked in our favour. But do you think that plays a part? Do you think the players in their heads think that? And do you think the fact that the crowd's going to be so big and it's a home crowd, do you think that'll mess Italy up in any way? Or do you just think they're just an oiled machine now?
Well, I don't think it will matter at the moment, but I'll tell you when it will, when that ball is kicked, because that is when the difference will be made. Because I don't think people are underestimating how loud it's going to be today, or tonight, should I say. The omen, like you say, is a good one. Italy are so organised, they're not going to be messed up by it. These are experienced heads. You're right, their first 11 is better than ours. And the reason that people are saying that we're bigger favourites than people are giving us credit for is because our bench is unreal. And if Saka doesn't start, trust me, he'll play. If Grealish doesn't start, he'll come on, as will Jadon Sancho probably, as will Jordan Henderson with his leadership. So we've definitely got some options there from the bench that can really hurt Italy, particularly with legs and pace. So I think that is why people are giving us a chance. Absolutely, the home situation will help. Being at Wembley is unbelievable, and you know that's why I really wanted us to get through to Germany, because I thought that we'd be okay against either Sweden or Ukraine, and then after that we knew that we had Wembley on our kind of side. What I just want to mention quickly in a couple of players wise is Declan Rice, because I told you, I think, on here a few seasons ago that people were talking to me about Calvin Phillips, the Leeds fan, said how good he is. So I started watching him a couple of seasons ago and I thought, wow, he's not lying. This kid's good. So he hasn't surprised me. He's not been the surprise package for me. A lot of people have, because they don't watch Calvin Phillips, or they haven't watched much football this year because of COVID. So they've been surprised at how good he's been. I wasn't, because I think he's doing what he's been doing for Leeds for the last couple of years in an England shirt. But Declan Rice has actually surprised me, because I actually thought, got quite a few West Ham fans who just overhype everything and think they're going to get top 4 every year. So when they start talking to me about Declan Rice, I'm starting thinking that he's going to be no better than Joe Allen. He's just overhyped Joe Allen. Do you know what I mean? So when I started watching him, I thought, wow, okay, this kid's looking good. I think he's been immense. I think actually, as well as Phillips, he's been one of the main reasons. He's like our Gilberto Silva. You know, like you don't really miss him until he's not there. He just does stuff. If you watch, tonight is not a good example to give because it's such a big game. But if you was to watch Declan Rice and just watch Declan Rice, I think you'll see how he plays football. If you watch West Ham or England, you might not see Declan Rice. You might not think he does much. But you watch how well he breaks the ball up. And he doesn't pass forward as much. But I tell you what he does. He breaks up the ball, gives it to someone who can make it forward, and then will either create something from it or score from it. I think Declan Rice has been very underrated in this tournament. I think he's been exceptional. And I've been a critic of his over the last few years. I've not got it. I've not really watched West Ham, so maybe that was foolish on my part. But I haven't really seen on the clips I have how great he's been. And West Ham fans keep telling me how good he's been. I think he's been great this tournament. And between him, maybe Maguire and Shaw, although they have had fairly good seasons from a Man United perspective, I think they're the three that have really impressed me in this tournament because they're kind of unexpected. I expected Sterling to be a threat. I expected Kane to score goals. I expected Mount to give us legs. I knew that Saka and Grealish could give us something. I knew Walker was pacey. I knew Stones had a good season. But really, Maguire, Shaw, and for me, Rice have been the three surprise packages. So, yeah, I've been really impressed.
I agree, mate. I think Calvin Phillips, like you said, like he's been superb this tournament, and he's a player that I don't particularly rate either, if I'm honest. No, and I've watched a lot of Leeds and just thought, well, I don't really get it. Yeah, but he has really stood up in this tournament, Phillips. But you're right with Rice. I think he's been decent, and especially with Maguire as well. Like we all ridicule Maguire, we all take the mick, call him slabhead and this and that. But you know what? That big slab head, mate, might come in and score the winner tonight. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Same with John Stones. John Stones is a massive threat off corners and free kicks. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was our outlet tonight. And, you know, we didn't break them down and get him behind him. It was let's concentrate on set pieces if we can't break them down, because we have got a big squad, like a tall squad. Harry Kane can win headers. You know, them two that I've just mentioned can win headers. Declan Rice is a tall lad. He can win headers. So we have got that in our locker now, and that's something that we haven't necessarily had over the years with England. Like it's normally just been one of either John Terry or Sol Campbell at some point. Do you know what I mean? We haven't had a proper header of the ball in that England squad for me. But Kenny, where do you see the hero coming from tonight?
Look, the hero is definitely going to be. It could be anywhere on the pitch. It could be the goalie as well, because you know, people talk about how great Italy are in terms of like reputation, how well they've played as a team, and how, you know, wily Bonucci has been, how wily Chiellini has been. But Donnarumma, that guy's that's immense goalkeeper. You know, Italy just keep on producing great goalkeepers. You know, like Dino Zoff. Then you had players.
He's froze.
Especially if it gets, when you see Donnarumma, right? He gives me more assurance than Pickford does. Pickford was panicking too much. He was trying to get in too much in the game against Denmark, and Denmark were recognising that, and that's why they were trying to press him over the pitch, because they could sense the panic he was bringing to the team. So he's one player to do it. But you know, if you want to look at forward players, Insigne, you know, someone who's not a massive name in football, but in this tournament he's been screaming. Raheem Sterling for me has just really been a difference, especially in extra time. In extra time, you know, he was the one that stretched teams. There was a reason why. I think he was the reason why Jack Grealish was sacrificed, because Raheem Sterling was still had that energy. He was still piercing the Danish defence, especially after we went 2-1 up. So that's why it was kept on the pitch. Obviously, you know, it was between you know, Phil Foden as well, who we felt can control possession. So sadly, Jack Grealish was the one who sacrifices. But I think that was a lot to do with how energised and Raheem Sterling was. And I think, for me, Raheem Sterling, you know, who's benefited from the trust that he's been given by Gareth Southgate. He's managed him very, very well. And, he's remembered that in an English shirt, Raheem Sterling has done it for him, as opposed to the club form. For when we looked at the tournament before, we were looking at his performances from Man City, and we think, we can't get against what he's doing in Man City. But, sometimes, you have to go by England form sometimes, and sometimes players produce better for their country than a club. And Raheem Sterling's going to be very, very important. And, his pace is going to help Harry Kane a lot, because Harry Kane, as we know, is going to, like I said, come out of the comfort zone, and Spray Price is going to go down the wing, and he's going to rely on somebody who's going to make those forward runs, because that's where I think the most important player has to be Sterling. Obviously, we're looking at other players like, Grealish, who would come on the bench. We're looking at Harry Kane himself, Declan Rice, being important in midfield, and Mason Mount. But I think Sterling's the one person who was scared the life out of Italy today, and he has to be in his game. And I just hope that he's fit, really fit. And I don't mean just physically fit, but mentally fit and really up for it, because I think that's the one player that scares Italy.
Yeah, mate, I actually really agree. I genuinely do. And Chig, I want to ask you as well, because in this tournament, it looks like Raheem Sterling's thriving off of being the top boy. because he has saved us so many times with his goals in this competition. But do you think that that's the case as well? That is the player that they're going to be most scared of? Because Chiellini's played against Harry Kane for Juve against Tottenham. You know, I'm sure some of these other players have played against Man City and Raheem Sterling. But like I said, Raheem looks like he's thriving off of being the top boy and the golden child right now of English football with his goals. But other than that, is there anyone else, Chig? You're on mute.
Yeah, I am. I'm happy about that because coming into the tournament, if you remember, it was the complete opposite. People were wondering why Sterling was even in the squad. I was one of them. And you know, I know, that's why I put it out there. Yeah, I think people were like really questioning Gareth's decision making on the basis of that because you know Sterling had such a cold season. But I think you know this is why I guess we owe a lot. We owe some flowers to Gareth in certain ways, you know, because he did make some really ballsy calls that not a lot of managers would have made. And he said, you know what, I don't give a damn what you lot are saying. This is my guy. And you watch what he does in this tournament. And not only has he shown up, he's shown out. And he's been one of the best players of the tournament as a result. Now, because of everything I've just said, I'm not expecting him to have a big game because I think Italy will meticulously plan for him. I think once you meticulously plan for Sterling, that's generally when his quiet games tend to take place. So I think that does leave an opportunity for other danger players like a Grealish, a Mount, a Saka if he gets on. You know, those are the sort of players that I'm hoping will be able to step up as a result of it. But I still think there's a role for Sterling to play, and that would be just through his just running and his movement and just the sheer fear factor of him. Because we're going to need to, we don't have many, and the ones that we do have, we're going to be able to need to use effectively in order to get the victory to them.
Yeah, I think you're both right, if I'm honest. Sterling's the danger man, but at the same time, if Italy make a plan to stop Sterling, then he will be stopped. Yeah, because they'll just kick him. Like, they'll treble up on him. They will. You know, they play dirty, man. Yeah, and if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And do you know what, right? I've seen all the people that were saying it was a dive the other day. Can I just say, yeah, genuinely nobody cares. Yeah, the amount of times this country has been stitched up at tournaments, yeah, I genuinely don't care if people think that's a dive. Harry Kane should have had a penalty before that, you know, which for me was nailed on. Yeah, and the free kick that they scored from, there was less. I've had more contact in the bread aisle at Tesco's. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyone who wants to cry about that penalty, keep crying. It's coming home. Let's end this up on score predictions. Let's go with you, Dan.
So I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be tough. I really do. I think we can see that a lot of people are saying that we're not going to. I think we will. I think it's going to be a very, very similar result to the Denmark one. I think it's going to be extra time, but I think we'll nick it with our pace and our substitutions, and I think we'll win the game 2-1 in extra time.
Nice. A bit of confidence. Go on. Kenny, do you support that confidence?
Well, I support the extra time bit, but I think what's happening is that when it gets to extra time, I think England will do what they did against Denmark and try and make themselves difficult to beat and try and keep possession. And I think Italy will follow the same. So I'm expecting penalties. I think, and I'm going to say that England have got better penalty takers than Italy because of Italy, and I'm going to say that England will win 6-5 on penalties.
2 out of 2 so far. Chig?
Why'd you have to make me that guy?
It's right. I'm going to give a prediction as well, mate, and then the chat can play along as well.
I think it'll be a tight game, and I think Italy will nick it late, to be honest. And I think it'll be 1-0 Italy.
1-0 to Italy, yeah? I'm going to be fully confident, which is probably a bad thing.
We might as well write Italy's name on the trophy.
Jinxing it.
I'm actually kind of confident. I think the fact that the fans are going to be there, it was loud last time, it's going to be even louder this time. And I know that they're not going to be intimidated by that loudness and by the atmosphere, because most of them Italian players play for massive football clubs that get that anyway. But I just think if we get the first goal, it's coming home. If we don't get that first goal, then it's going to be a bit of drama, because we might get back into it, but we might end up getting done 2-0 trying to get back into it. But stick me above the parapet. I'm going 2-1 England in normal time. Harry Kane, the winner.
All good. Hey, can I just say something? Yeah, and this is what I think is factual as well. One thing you've got to remember about one thing now is that we've always said, "Oh, unlucky England," because we got to like quarterfinals, semi-finals, and everything. But today, if the boys don't bring it home, it's going to be much worse, because we're so close now. It's so close, and I think for the mental health of people in this country, the boys got to bring it home, because I know it's because simple reason is that when you lose a final, it's that's when everything, the tears will come, people will be devastated, and I just hope for the players and for everyone in this country that the boys find a way, because I think one thing is that every country wants to win a tournament. Every country thinks they need to win a tournament. This country is where we live, and if any team needs a tournament and needs to prove and stop all the delusions of grandeur that England have had over the years, is today, mate. Shut everyone up, because people talk behind English people's backs, saying how much we're arrogant and how we deserve every misfortune we get because we're deluded. It's now time to shut people up and turn up and prove why English football's the best. It's no good talking about it, because you don't come home with that trophy, everything's just going to be words. That's all I've got to say.
It's the best chance we've had for 55 years, mate. We're actually in a final. So everyone hopefully is going to get it. Hopefully they're going to go out on that pitch. They're not going to freeze. They're not going to they're obviously going to be nervous, but they've got the whole weight of this country on their shoulders. We now see who can stand up and be tested and can actually hack it. Yeah, and I genuinely think we are going to win it. I didn't at the start of the tournament. My little brother put a bet on it. He said England are going to win it. And we all laughed at him. I went with Germany or France, and both of them went. And
Spain.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been mad, and we've been really good this tournament. Now let's finish the job, man. 8 o'clock tonight kickoff, right?
Yes.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, oh my God, we could be having kittens in extra time, or we could be the whole country is just going mad.
I don't want the tournament to end. I want it to go extra time. I want the tournament to carry on forever. As a football fan, I want it to carry on forever. I want it to carry on forever. I don't want it to end. What am I going to do?
Wouldn't it be funny,
tomorrow?
right? Because Afsal mentioned this in the group chat the other day. He said that the best moment in English history in our lifetimes has come from a Tottenham player because he scored the winner getting us here. Can you imagine if we actually win it and he scores the winner, and number one, he'd win a trophy, first one ever. Yeah, but number two, it will always be remembered by English Arsenal fans that Harry Kane scored the winner. It's going to be mad.
Come on, Sterling, save the day, mate.
Come on, Saka.
Saka, mate, Saka. It's got to be Saka coming on.
We are going to wrap this up. Big up to everyone who's put a donation in as well. I didn't read them, but obviously I'm going to say thank you. I did read them, but I didn't put them. Read them out loud, if that makes sense. Big up to everybody who's watched live. Make sure you smash the likes up. There's still 500 watching. Dan, have you got anything coming up with judges?
Yeah, me and Judge are still going strong with the channel. We've been on a few weeks and we've got just over 3,500 subs now, so hopefully that can grow. So please come and support the channel if you haven't done so already. The Judges TV. There's going to be a lot more content within the actual season when that starts, Premier League wise, and we have a few guests lined up that are going to come on and join us regularly. So yeah, you'll if you can do, I would appreciate it. If not, no worries at all. But yeah, please do come and support us. It'd be great.
The link's in the chat. Just put it in the chat. So anyone who's not subscribed, go and subscribe right now and get on it.
Cheers,
Kenny, you're are you going to be doing your Instagram commentary tonight, or are you actually going to swerve this and actually watch the game?
No, I'll do both of that. But one thing I want to say is that right, is that as a boxing fan, I think boxing's shit at the moment. I'm just ashamed. I'm so pissed off with the way that it's going on. There's more lies, a bit more lies, and just absolute dross and bullshit. So thank God for the football, because there's a lot of people in boxing that should not be in a sport. That's all I've got to say.
There you go. Well said, Kenny. Well said, mate. And Chig, what you got coming up, man?
Told you, Kenny. Told you.
Yeah.
I love and hate the sport. For me, so I've just dropped a number of reviews on Chick Flicks, so make sure you do go check those out. From various films that dropped to, I've got one more that I need to do, which is going to be Fast 9 or 19 or whatever they're on at the moment. So make sure you go check that out. I'm also going to do my thoughts on the new signing from Arsenal. I'm surprised we're not talking about it on the pod, to be fair, but I'll talk about it on mine. And that's pretty much it. So make sure you check that out. Google Eagle Eye or Chig Flicks for the movie stuff.
There you go.
One more thing. Sorry, Lee. Just want to pass my condolences to two people who died. Sebastian Eubank lost his life in Dubai, and also Arsenal, ex-Arsenal, Ipswich Town, Plymouth, and England, Paul Mariner. Last 3 years of his career at Arsenal. That's when I was watching Name regularly, and he had a good partnership, Tony Woodcock. So, my condolences for both families.
No, well said, mate, and totally agree. Listen, make sure you follow all the guys. Their links are in the description. And I've got the pinned comment is my vlog channel, which is flying up in subs. We're on 2860 at the minute. So if you haven't subscribed to that, the first vlog will be dropping Monday when I land in Spain in 39 degrees and get some sun on these skinny arms instead of looking like, I don't know, crab sticks or whatever.
Afsal's waiting in the background.
Hey, Dan, if you want to drop off, mate, we'll carry on with Afsal for 5 minutes, mate. So I forgot to send him the link. But I know you're on a time scale, mate. So if you want to drop,
mate, that's all good. Mate. I will say bye. Before I do say bye, I just want to say, if no one's watched it, last night there's a really good player that Arsenal need to be looking at. I don't know, I can't remember his name now. He plays in goal for Argentina. Absolutely wicked, mate. If you haven't seen it, go watch him. He's absolute top class. Because if only we had a goalkeeper internationally that won stuff, because ours sits on the bench for Germany. I'll leave you with that one. Take it easy.
Nice, have a good day, mate. Afsal, very quickly, because we were wrapping up. I do apologise. I didn't send you the link.
No worries. I was busy until I just got free about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, go on, mate. Give me your thoughts on the game tonight, because you're going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm buzzing. Listen, I've never been this excited to go to a game in my life before. This is it. This is the peak of football, in my opinion. Watching your country play in an international final, it's the peak. Nothing beats it. Simple as that. I'm nervous. I'm excited. When we got through the first round, I said we're gonna make the final. After the first round, I said we'll make the final, and I think we'll lose in the final. But now we're in the final. I can't say we lose. There's no way I can even if I think we are deep down, I have to go for the England win. I can't say anything, but I think this tournament, Southgate's decisions have all proved right. I mean, we've every game, there's always like that first game, everyone was shocked with that selection. We won. After the Scotland game, he had his critiques. Then we beat Czech Republic. Then in the Germany game, everyone was oohing and eyeing about the selection. It worked. Even in the last couple of games, people were questioning the odd decisions. It worked. So you know what? Whichever team he picks tonight, I'm going to back it. I trust him. I believe in Southgate. And I believe that it could be coming home. And I can't wait to be there tonight. I'm leaving in about an hour to go to Wembley. I've missed one England game so far, which is the Scotland game, but I've been to the others. And the atmosphere in the last two games was on another level, honestly. It was like something I've never experienced before, the atmosphere.
Better than Anfield, then.
You know what? I said before. You know what the funny thing is? Yeah, before the tournament, I've always said the best atmosphere I've experienced is in Anfield on a Champions League night. But this is better. This has got to be better for sure. When England are playing in a major tournament and they're going far and they're in the semis and the finals, that atmosphere tops it. I think today will even be better. It'll be nervy, but I think before the game, it will be wow. It will just be unreal, you know. And let's just hope we win it. I mean, if we win it, it will be the greatest footballing achievement this country has had, obviously, for 55 years. Well, even if going the first time in the final in 55 years, you know, this.
And where was the last final, Afsal? It was at Wembley.
Was at Wembley? Yeah, exactly. I mean, since I've been watching football, I was born in 1994, so I started watching in 2000. We've only made one semi-final before, which was in the last World Cup, and that World Cup, every tournament England has played, I've been very disappointed. Yeah. But last World Cup, I could see the improvements in the team. I could see the improvements in the manager, see the improvements in the team. My aim was always to be in the Euro 2020 final. I said England's next aim should be the final. And we've done that. And now, obviously, you know what? If I know you might disagree, even if we lose, I think we've had a good tournament. I'm going to be honest. It's not easy to win a major international tournament. But obviously, it's all about winning. And winning will just... This country will be on... Like, listen, this country will have the most electric scenes today and tomorrow if we win that final. You've never seen it before. So, Lee, if I was you, I'd book your ticket on Wednesday because you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. Yeah, honestly, it's worth postponing it just in case, you know?
They might not let me back in. They might not let me back into Spain if we win it.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They should just say bank holiday tomorrow. You know, England have won first something in 55 years. We've all been disappointed for years and years with this team, but Southgate has, you know, put pride in this football team, you know, and it's just, yeah, it's brilliant. And if I was picking my team tonight, like I said, I'll back whatever team Southgate does, but my choice would be the same team as Wednesday, but I would bring in Henderson for Phillips because, first of all, Henderson's got that experience that Phillips doesn't. Second of all, Henderson has that energy to drive forward and ping balls forward. You know, Phillips, I don't want to slate him, but he likes his sideways passes a lot, right? Henderson at least will play forward. Henderson will hit long balls forward, will drive forward, will bring some energy and leadership in that team. So I think Henderson is a must start today. And the other start is, I don't mind who plays Saka or Sancho. I mean, obviously, I'd rather Saka play.
Well, Dan was saying, sorry to cut you off. Dan was saying the front three is Mount, Kane, and Sterling tonight.
Mount, Kane, and Sterling? Really?
Yeah, and then Phillips and Rice, and then a back five with Trippier at right wing back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bit defensive.
So, yeah.
That's
whether
very
that's
defensive.
true or not.
Like,
yeah, whether that's
oh my
true or
God,
not,
that's really defensive. I don't want that team. I just said I'll back whatever team he does, but I'm not thinking about it. Nah, that's defensive. Really?
Afsal, give me a score prediction, man, because we're going to wrap this up, buddy.
Okay, well, that's a defensive team, but you know what? Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather do just the safety, put in one Henderson for Phillips and maybe Saka or Sancho, and then let's good to go. My score prediction, I honestly can't give one, Lee. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not
Come
giving
on,
you
this is going well, isn't it? You turned up 40 minutes late and you don't want to give a score prediction.
God, score prediction.
Come on, Afsal.
Listen, even if I think deep down we're going to lose, I'm not going to say it. So I'm just going to say freaking 2-1 England in extra time. In extra time.
Okay. I went 2-1 normal time. But yeah, big up for coming on. Enjoy the match tonight as well, man. I'm gutted I'm not going to be there myself. It's mad. It's going to be lit. So yeah, enjoy the atmosphere.
Listen, I have one question to ask all you guys, right? I know what your answer's going to be. England to win the Euros or Arsenal to win the Premier League next year?
Arsenal.
Kenny, you?
Arsenal.
All right. Listen, I want England to win the Euros. Listen, I've seen Arsenal win the league. England to win the Euros for me.
No, Arsenal. We've been waiting 17 years. We may wait another 17 years.
If it was Arsenal Champions League, different opinion. But because I've seen us with the league twice, well, 3 times, but twice since I've actively been watching, and I've never seen England win anything.
Afsal, when we won the league, you're only 10.
Yes, I remember everything, Kenny. When we won the league when we were 8 and 10, I watched every single game that season. I remember everything. I didn't watch it live, obviously. I only watched 2 games that season live. But yeah,
Afsal, you're just as autistic as me when it comes to the Arsenal.
Listen,
so
but
I
guess
love all
what?
that, mate.
Arsenal aren't going to win the league next year, and England could win it today. So it's more realistic.
There you go. And on that bombshell, we're going to wrap this up. Big up to everyone who stuck around, because we was wrapping it up and then Afsal appeared. And that's my fault because I gave him the link way late. I forgot.
Cool,
I
no
forgot
problem.
But yeah, enjoy the game, Afsal. Listen, make sure you follow everyone. All the links are in the description. Dan, Kenny, Chig, Afsal don't want you to follow him. He hasn't got social media anyway. And make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's nearly on 60K. It's getting there. And make sure you subscribe to my More Lee Gunner channel. Push that up to 3K. We're about 130 odd away. So I'm not sure I'll be back again today. I've got a few things that I want to do. So it's my last day in this country. I'm actually waiting for my COVID test result to come back. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be getting on that plane. I've still not had the email yet. So yeah, we shall see. But all have a blessed Sunday, and it's coming home, baby. It's coming home. Definitely, it's coming home. Come on. Laters. Southgate in.